1, 2, 3. Hello, everybody. It's Jenny with Senior Perspective on Sister Wives. All right. Oh, there we go. Right before it started, my microphone didn't show up, and I was like, uh-oh, I have no mic.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, here we go again with the echo. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get rid of that. There we go. Okie dokie. So good to see everybody. All right, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of this chat since you're all having fabulous conversations going on here. And let me know if you can see and hear me okay. I can see me okay, but I just want to make sure you can hear me actually. Hi, Jenny. Good evening, Jenny. Hello, Jenny. Oh, that makes me think you can see and hear me. Oh, my lips are so dry. Excuse me. All right. I am going to go back and say hello to everybody who's here, just to piss off the person who said, another content creator who spends 15 minutes saying hello to everybody. Goodness. Can we all just be happy? Oh, my goodness. Okay. Let's see. Kathy's here. Hello, Kathy. You're going to be listening. Oh, you're at your son's baseball game, but you're in the car. All right. Well, you'll see if he hits a ball out. I hope you can at least see him when he's up to bat, Kathy. Your son's more important than I am. You're so awesome. Okay. Monique, hello. Welcome. Marissa, hello, sister friends. Donna, hi. You're making dinner. Awesome. Marissa again. Hey. Ethel, welcome. Lisa Owen, story time. James has cloned that, so I'm not going to take it from him. Although you must know that when you're in this chat, mine are full of story times. They're actually more like squirrel moments, very Cody-ish. Nod to Cody Brown. Okay, Donna Miller, hello. Oh, I'm glad these help relax you. That's awesome. Danny Towns, hey there. Mace Chill. All right. Oh, your son's spring band recital. A lot going on this evening. This is a month for all those end of the year stuff, isn't it? All right. Danny, I said hi. Lynn Skinner, thank you. Thank you for moderating. Thank you for all my moderators. I appreciate it's going to be a long night. I appreciate you more than you know. All right, Donna Miller, hi. Pip Skipped, hey, good to see ya. Lynn Skinner, Elizabeth Murphy. All right. Listen, we're so excited to be here. My sister friends, hug to you all. Love spending my time with you all. And Jenny, our sister leader. There's a new title, sister leader. Sister friends and sister leader. All right. Okay. And lots of conversation going back and forth. Oh, I love how you're all sharing what you're making for dinner. All right, Lynn Skinner, Monique, Danny, Donna, Lynn, Danny, Lori Curad, Elizabeth Murphy, hey there. All right, all of you are regulars, so like I'm starting to think when I see your names, I already saw it, but maybe I hadn't. Maybe it was last week or the week before. Marie Hickson, hi, good to see you. Virgo, Earth Angel Tarot, so glad you're here. All right. Donna Miller, Marie Hickson, Lori Virgo, Rebecca Jordan. There we go. All right. Steaming artichokes and making a turkey burger with sauteed kale. And yes, I live in California. I was about to make some sort of snide remark. It's not happening in this house. I'm in the Midwest. You're so funny, Rebecca. Welcome. All right. Hello, Cloakers. Oh, I like that name too. We're sister friends and we're Cloakers. Cloaker is kind of funny. All right. Rebecca Jordan. Hi. Good to see you. Becky, good to see you here. Welcome. Mama Squirrel, glad you made it. Susan, whoa, my chat just jumped way ahead. Holy tamales, why did that happen? Am I that far behind that it's making me think, get going, Jenny. Okay, Susan. Susan Schmoozin. Hi, Jenny. I like that. It was called just Schmoozin. All right, Wendy, good to see you here. Mountaineer. Oh, so many new people. Nancy Coran, good to see you from Rhode Island. Treasure, welcome. You can see and hear me. Yay. Okay, good. All is well. Dave and Tess. Welcome, Dave and Tess. I love that you watch this together. Do you watch it together, or is that just your shared YouTube? I know I have some couples that do watch it together. They've let me know. S.N. Anders. Hey. Treasure, Ethelyn, Mountaineer, Pipskirt. Pipskirt was always in my head initially. It's hard for me to overcome that. Beverly Miner. Hi. Welcome. Donna Miller. James needs royalties for the term. Doesn't he? Yeah, he should. Just nobody else should steal it from him. It's his. Yes, Lisa. Do you remember Romper Room? I see Treasure. I see Donna. I see Lisa. Oh, you love seeing me with James. Good, because this Sunday night, James, we're getting a lot of Christine this week because I'm reading Christine's chapter under sorority, and then we're reviewing Christine's chapter in matrimony on Sunday. Yes. And James, for anyone who's been living under a rock, is from My Take on Reality channel. Excellent channel. If you haven't subscribed, do that before we even begin. All right. Motherhood is ministry. Amen, sister. Hello. Welcome. Sherry from Canada. Hi. Cindy Morez. Rhonda Delph. Hi. Your first live from Nashville. Welcome. Love Nashville. My daughter lives there. Just bought a house, so I'll be going to Nashville a lot. Putting down roots there. Sharon is in the UK. Welcome, Sharon. I'm glad you made it. Wonder what time it is in the UK right now. You would be ahead of us, so it would be later. So this time is probably better for you in the UK, isn't it? Was it like midnight or 1? Is it like 6-hour difference? It can't be that much, can it? Well, I mean, it can be, yeah, because it's 3-hour difference to the other coast, 4 hours to Alaska, depending on the time of year. Okay, talking to myself. Cindy, hi. Oh, we did the skip ahead again. Why is my thing doing that? I think this is where I was. Okay, Linda Kohler, Wendy, I said hi to yes. Nancy, I saw you. Mountaineer, I saw you. All right, Rhonda, Sharon Cass, you're the one from the UK. Okay. All right. Elizabeth Murphy, hey. You made my day when you said my name. It's my goal. My goal is to make all of your days and to anger the one person that doesn't like it when I say hi to people. I think I'm accomplishing 2 things at one time. All right. Virgo Earth Angel Tarot. Hitting a like is a free way to support Jenny's channel. It is true. Preach. Yes. Cost you nothing. I didn't even realize, but like every other one of my videos has that in there. Hey, like and subscribe. It costs you nothing. I mean, we're all trying to save a buck, right? Yeah, something you can do that costs nothing. Sherry from Canada. Rebecca Jordan. Ian is here. Hi, Ian. How? Ian from Ireland, correct? I don't know if you're from Ireland. I know it's an Irish name. Now you have to let me know if you're from Ireland, Ian. You may have told me in the past. Joanna Dunwich, hello. Lisa Ann, hello. Fellow Ohioan. OH. You'll see in the chat what she responds to that. Linda Skinner. Morticia, hello. Did I say hi to you yet? I don't think I did. Hi, Morticia. Old Spirit Art. Hey, everybody. Nancy Zepp. Hi. Crocheting a dragon and listening to Jenna. It's a great night. Amazing. I admire those who crochet. My 20-year-old son just told me that his girlfriend is a crocheter. Who knew? I was excited when he told me that. I'm like, oh, she's multi-talented. Caribou Woman's here. Hey, hey, hey from Wasilla, Alaska. Been there. Lovely. Dave and Tess are here again. Oh, and a super chat from Virgo Earth Angel Tarot. Bless you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. Cindy Moore's. I think I'm catching up here. Ellie. I jumped ahead. Maybe I didn't. Wow, there's a lot of people here. Okay. That's my shoe I saw in here as I was scrolling by, I think. Something about a shoe. I remember. That's my shoe. Yes, that's my shoe. I've seen you here before. I'm wondering if I have tissues. Seasonal allergies. Okay. Good to see you. That's my shoe. I see you on James's channel too. Beverly Minor. 5-hour time difference. Okay. 5 hours. Yeah, midnight. Night owl. You can hang out with James. He's a night owl too. Pazzy 001. Is the sound off? No, it's not off. By now she probably reboot. Anyone know sign language? I do know sign language, but I don't know reboot. Was the Daybell trial earlier? Joanna Dunwich said this is a good palate cleanser after the Daybell trial. Wow. Can I tell you a little inside knowledge? I was sharing that whole story to my son when we were coming back from college for the summer. And I was just kind of talking about all like sort of big trials in general and how my older daughter said that she's been watching the OJ trial and I can't remember what other ones. And then she also was following some of the story on Michael Jackson. And she's like, Mom, in the 80s, a whole bunch of stuff happened. 80s and early 90s. And I'm like, I know. So anyway, even though it wasn't back then, somehow the Daybell trial came up. And a little piece of information. My son-in-law's mom was she was called to jury duty on that trial. Wouldn't that have been fascinating? Are you all like me that you're like fascinated by trials? She got out of it because she has a bunch of horses and one was going to have a baby. They let her go. I'm like, can't you get a vet? I thought it was amazing when he told me that. Okay. So, Pazzy, I hope your sound is working now. You love my top, Cindy Morris. Thank you very much. Anyone who's been watching this for a while will know what store I probably got this from. You can write it down below. Anyone? I think I've shared it a couple times here. I know I've shared it with so many people. Okay. Old Spirit Art. Hi. Jeanette Cantrell. You have an echo. Oh, there's an echo. Okay, let's try this. What if... Okay. Let me know if the echo went away. Oh, maybe it was just at the very beginning. Maybe if you're starting at the beginning. At the beginning, I had an echo, but I just turned off something else. So I'll keep following this to see if what I just turned off. I have 2 audio inputs, and I tried to research it today. My head started spinning, reading all of the mumbo jumbo because they assume you're techies. And I think I only need the top one, not the bottom one. So I turned the bottom one off in case it's creating an echo. Lynn Skinner, did you get new pens? You know what, Lynn? Give me the $10 super chat, and I didn't this week. I did not. It was a crazy, crazy week. It was a crazy week. My son came home from college, drove all the way out there, packed up the car, spent the night at the hotel. The next day, finished packing, came home, unpacked, blah, blah, blah. The next day, on the weekend, drive 2.5 hours the opposite direction and go to my daughter's white coat ceremony for veterinary school. She completed her 3rd year and is going into a full year of clinicals now. And and so they have a formal coating ceremony where they get their white coats, which is a really nice ceremony, actually. And then, of course, we went out to dinner and blah, blah, blah. So I didn't get home until late on Sunday night. And then I've been playing all week catching up. So I did not get pens. So we are still stuck with the pen that doesn't work. But I will, I promise you, next week, I'm getting a new set of pens. Yes, you have an echo happening. Okay, is it echo still happening at 7:14 p.m.? Echo, echo, big time. Oh, Jenny is gone now. Oh, good. The echo's gone now? Better. Okay, so it was that other, I don't even know what that other setting is, why I have two. One says audio input, one says mic. So I turned off the mic, but you can apparently hear me. Can you hear me clearly, or do you think it's the, is that better? Am I louder if I talk like this? I hope this is on. All right. Dave and Tess, it all sounds better. Very good. Okay, hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Isabel, hey, good to see ya. The Baker, welcome. Carol Annie, Isabel Vasquez, Dave and Tess, Stacy Mew, hi. Morticia, I believe I said hello to you already. It's jumping ahead again. I think, oh yeah, people keep jumping in. If I don't catch up real quick, I'll be here all day. All right. Sam Stewart, hey, hello. D Brown, OMG, Jenny's echoing big time. Okay. Hopefully that's fixed. Hopefully I just went back. Yeah, so the trial is going on. I'm going to have to catch up on that. Oh. At 7:12, there's still an echo. Don't mean to yell, but there's an echo. Oh my goodness. What am I going to do to get rid of the echo? I thought I took care of it. Echo gone. Oh, okay. Echo gone. Echo gone. Okay. Now there's a whole bunch of echoes. I just had to go a little further. Okay. Rebecca, hello. Hello, Rebecca. Jordan, HP. If I missed anyone, I am so sorry. I'm trying to make sure. Ronia Forever. Good to see you. I think I'm pretty much caught up. Jenna, I saw you. Isabel, I saw you. The Baker saw you. I think I'm caught up. Oh, I jumped ahead again. Okay. But I think Tactical Wealth. Hello. Tactical Wealth. Oh, that's interesting. I'd like to learn how to tactically be wealthy. Karen, hi. Good to see you. All right. I think I'm caught up. Carol Annie D. Hello. Hey, we're caught up, everybody. Okay. Hit the like button on your way in, says that's my shoe. Correct. Excellent. Can we send a pen? I will send my work pen. You know what? If I get a P.O. box soon, my husband made me promise to never give out my address, which I understand. I'm like, they're nice ladies. But if I get a P.O. box, I'll let you know. And then everybody can just send pens and I'll say where all my different pens are from. That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? I kind of like that. All right. Leanna, hello. Lynn Vaughn, hey. I'm sure I said hi to you already. One, you know how I was using my not so great pen last week and taking notes anytime a great idea came up that I thought that would make a great video? Honest to goodness, one of my Post-it notes, I have no idea. It says, why did your mom leave? Comparing apples and oranges. What? What? I mean, it doesn't even spur on anything in my head. Why did no, maybe not mom. Maybe it's man. It's scribbled pretty fast. Okay, so either why did your man leave or why did your mom leave? And then I drew a line and then I wrote comparing apples and oranges. If anybody remembers what we were talking about, if that spurs on anything in your head, write it in the chat. If I don't catch it while I'm here, I'll be sure to, I always reread through the chat later in the evening or the next day. Don't know what it means. No clue. All right. Any other housekeeping? First and foremost, let me make sure to let anyone who just got in here, since we're now over 100, so we're like building up here, I want you all to know that Sunday, James and I will be live again. So make sure you don't miss it. My take on reality. James, who is the bomb, has invited me to discuss the Christine chapter. So we are going to be very Christined this week. I'm not going to chat too long. I want to jump right into it, because this is one of those long chapters, and I really would love it if I could get it done today and not have to carry it over to next week like we have been doing. The apples and oranges were what Meri said, and Robyn plagiarized. Oh, I do remember that now. Okay, where's my, okay. Comparing apples and oranges. Yes, what Robyn said. Okay, and Meri said what Meri said. And Robyn plagiarized. Okay, there is a line between the two, so maybe they are two different ideas. Patronized. Why did your man leave? I don't even think, why did your mom? I don't think it's mom. It must be man. Bad pen. Okay. I don't know if we're going to figure that one out. Okay. Okay. One other thing we're going to go over. Y'all, I don't need to read this to you, but I'm going to anyway. I just took a few little notes. I'm going to put it in more eloquent speech. Hello, this is Jenny from Senior Perspective. This is not a news channel. I am not a reporter. This is a commentary channel. This is my opinion. My opinion on all things Sister Wives. It is intended to be fun. Okay. I want to have fun and have commentary with like-minded sister friends who share the same love-hate relationship with sister wives. So please be kind to each other in the comments. You can disagree with each other. I don't care about that. But being insulting and mean is not necessary. If you can't be kind, even when you're disagreeing, you are welcome to unsubscribe. That way your ego will not be bruised when you are blocked. There are plenty other channels out for you that are on the internet if you feel like being mean and nasty and talking sister wives. They're there. Just go find them. This isn't it. We're here to have a good time. We're a bunch of sister friends. It's a shame that I have to say that, but hopefully that'll make somebody go, oh, all right, I'm leaving. I just felt like being nasty today. Life is too short, people. It's called Senior Perspective. That means I'm a senior, which means I don't have time for BS. Let's just have fun. Let's poke fun at it, people. All right. Sister Snark channel. That's what it is, Ethel. You are correct. This is a Sister Snark channel. All in good fun. Here we go. Chapter 7, Christine. The first year of Cody's and my marriage was tough. I realized that I hardly knew the man I married. I don't mean to say that I didn't love him, but he felt like a stranger to me, and I realized that I was completely unsure where I stood with him, which was a terrible and unsettling feeling. I wasn't entirely unaware of the struggles I might face. Growing up around so many polygamous families, I was well aware of the problems and pitfalls, the anger and jealousy, as well as the daily organizational and financial struggles. Well, that's a hard sell, isn't it? She was very much aware of the problems, the pitfalls, the anger, the jealousy, the daily organizational and financial struggles. I mean, and you chose it? Okay. I knew that the situation I was entering was going to be challenging. I'd never seen my parents fight, but I realized that once they got divorced, their marriage must have been trouble for a long time. But in our family, if you had a problem, you just put on a smile and didn't let it show. I never saw my parents try to work through their differences until it was too late. But when I married Cody, I ignored any potential problems. I put on my rose-tinted glasses and cheerful disposition and imagined that when I entered a plural marriage, I wouldn't experience those issues other people faced. If I was naive, it was because I chose to be. Okay, all right, that's good to know. Hey, Valadia, good to see you. Victorious, welcome. Okay. I appreciate that Christine says that she chose, if she was naive, she chose to be. I mean, I don't like this whole, and the fact that she saw all the problems ahead of time. I feel like the whole Robyn stance on everything is, I just didn't know. I didn't know my parents' marriage was so amazing and they were so in love. I just assumed that's how it was. I could go on. Okay, we're going to continue. Not long after I married Cody, I stopped being able to cover my problems with a smile. I was nervous and insecure. I felt overwhelmed by my new situation. Janelle had just given birth to Logan. At first, the four of us, Meri, Janelle, Cody, and myself, couldn't agree on how to organize the household and raise the first child. Naturally, Cody doted on Logan, but this made me feel insignificant. How could I compete with a firstborn son? For the first 3 months of my marriage, I lived in the house with my sister wives. It was a strange transition. However, despite some of my own struggles, I felt that the four of us were developing a solid family identity. We'd often eat meals together around a small kitchen table. I had grown up in a large family, filled with kids. I thought it was really, really strange to be sitting around a table with only adults for company. Eventually, I realized I needed to develop and deepen my relationship with Cody. I still didn't know him very well. Although I always idealized the notion of living with sister wives, it became clear that I required a little separation for a time. Plus, I am sure my sister wives were getting sick of living with a couple of newlyweds. I mean, maybe, but it didn't sound like they acted like it. I wonder what she means by that. Maybe she means in bed, maybe? Is that what she's implying? I think they were all frisky at the beginning. All right, so I got my own cottage. I loved that cottage. Cody and I needed some time together in our own world. We'd barely had a moment alone since we married. 3 months into our marriage, I became pregnant. Between my insecurities and my hormones, I was a wreck. For the first time in my life, I was apart from my parents and my friends. I was living in Wyoming, which was cold, bleak, and far away from home. I was lonely and worried about my marriage. I tried talking about my problems with Cody, but I didn't know how to express myself. I didn't have the vocabulary for telling him what was wrong. Cody didn't know how to listen to me. During our first fight, which was predictably about the fact that I thought he divided his time unfairly between his wives. Wow. He never learned. He just got worse. Oh my goodness. Okay. He just put his head in his hands and covered his face. It was as if he was trying to make it all go away. He didn't have the emotional tools to deal with the needs of 3 wives. I knew that he felt he had married me too soon. The 4 of us were too young to deal with the situation we'd created. Not long after Logan was born, Janelle went back to work. She was the most employable member of our family and was able to get the best jobs. While she worked, I looked after Logan, which was a joy and a delight. I loved mothering him. It was a highlight of that first difficult year. Cody likes to say that I was instrumental in Logan's first year. Since Meri and Janelle were still struggling with each other, I was able to bring joy into the world. I created a sort of truce between my sister wives, which made the house more peaceful and loving for Logan. Logan is certainly the child of all three mothers. Meri provided constructive discipline. Okay. Janelle, a safe and comfortable place. And despite my own problems, I showed him as much happiness and joy as I could. I played with him as much as possible, teaching him both silly and instrumental games. While I enjoyed taking care of Logan, I spent the majority of my first pregnancy down in the dumps. I had lost sight of who I was. Like Janelle, when I married Cody and entered an already established family, I lost my identity. I was no longer my bubbly, energetic self. I couldn't look on the bright side because I was unable to see the bright side. Even though I had a strong testimony in plural marriage and always wanted to enter a family as a third wife, it was harder than I thought it would be. I struggled with my disappointment and frustration that something I thought would be perfect, celestial even, was actually hard work and brought about a certain amount of pain. Before marrying Cody, I honestly believed that being a third wife would be the easiest position because the family would have already worked through all their issues regarding jealousy and sharing. But I had no understanding of how much work would be left to do. Right after my first child, Aspen, was born. Shout out to Aspen. We should have done a shout out to Logan too. Love them both. I got a phone call from an old friend back in Utah. Christine, she said, "Where are you right now?" I didn't understand her question. I told her that I was in Powell, Wyoming, where I lived. "I know where you are physically," she said, "but where are you emotionally? You seem lost. You don't seem like yourself," she said. "What changed?" Okay. Did I miss a page? How? There's somebody in a whole nother state contacted her. This was before social media. I mean, this was before computers, really, and before email anyway that everybody had. So why all of a sudden did somebody in another state call her up and say, "Where are you? You seem lost"? How does she know this? I'll go on. Maybe it'll answer. I doubt it, but maybe it'll answer it. I told her I no longer felt good or worthy. I felt insecure in my marriage, which was about the worst feeling in the world. "You're still the same girl you've always been," my friend said, "and that's the reason Cody married you. Cody loves you for you. Don't change, don't mope, and don't try to be anyone different." For some reason, her words really resonated with me. I was a wife and a mother, and I knew I could be happy if I wanted. I'd lost my identity only because I'd let it happen. I could be me and be happy if I chose. I know this sounds overly simplistic, but all I needed was for someone to remind me that it was up to me to reclaim my sense of self. I needed a kick in the pants. After all, I was the one who'd committed to the plural lifestyle. I was the one who had wanted sister wives more than I wanted a husband. It was up to me to enjoy it and to make it work. Once I became more relaxed, I began to understand my place in the family. I started becoming an active and important force in negotiating a truce and soothing a lot of our hurt. Meri and Janelle didn't have a relationship at all, but I had started to develop a fun sort of camaraderie with Meri. In addition to this, I was able to talk to Janelle about her interests and concerns. I'd always idealized the nature of sister wives. I expected that they would be my best friends. After that first troubling year, I realized that friendships aren't instantaneous. If you want someone to be your best friend, you have to work on the relationship. All right. Words of wisdom for everybody. I tell that to my kids all the time when they were growing up. If you want to have a friend, you first have to be a friend. Be a friend to everybody, and then the friendships will come back, and the ones that stick are the ones that are meant to stick. Okay. Over time, I was able to forge close friendships with Meri and Janelle. Meri became my best friend. Janelle and I grew extremely close, but since she is much more reserved than either Meri or me, our friendship is slightly less dynamic and more practical, which doesn't mean I love her any less than I do my other sister wives. After Aspen was born, I started to benefit from the sister-wife experience I'd always hoped for. Aspen was the first girl and a true delight. Oh, I bet she was the perfect baby, don't you think? I bet Aspen was just I bet she was a true delight. I believe that. I bet Logan was too. I bet both of them were like excellent baby number 1 and 2s. Okay. Aspen. She had restored my sense of happiness and joy. I was a mother and a wife, equally important as my sister wives. Once I'd given birth, I began to lose a tremendous amount of weight. I guess my puppy fat was ready to melt off with the pregnancy pounds. Although I have to admit, I am the cutest pregnant woman in the world. You go, Christine. I'm so down on myself when I was pregnant. I just felt like a weeble wobble or an oompa loompa or something. Not feel good. Like she was the cutest pregnant woman in the world. Go girl. One day after I'd slimmed down, Cody, Janelle, and I were out shopping. We were in a clothing store where everything was far out of our price range. Money was tight then. It often is in our family. Well, when Robyn takes it all, I have ideas for a video on that one too. Okay. I love it. I love how now on the videos that I make, when I'm like, what did you think of this? What did you think of that? What about this? Do you have any other ideas? I'll do a part 2 of this. And then everybody starts throwing down ideas. I'm just taking notes. I'm like, there's a future video. There's a future video. Got to get us through. Since I've already paused, let me continue to pause and say that I was going to say, got to get us through until this spring season premiere comes. McKelty completely recanted on what she said before. Completely recanted in her Patreon this week. She's like, yeah. And I kid you not, I was so angry because she was so, I mean, you saw the video clips. I put the actual video clip in there so you didn't think that I was like making something up. She was just like, when somebody said, hey, I heard it's coming in the spring. Is that true? She's like, and then in the next Patreon, when somebody said, what does it mean when you touch your nose? And she says, it means right on, you got it. And before that, she had said, I have inside knowledge on when the show's coming out, but I'm not allowed to say anything. I mean, that seems very blatant. She has info, she's not allowed to say anything, which made me surprised that she did this thing, because I'm like, why is she spilling it if she's told not to talk about it? But as she said before, she's not under any contract, so she really can say whatever she wants. She just doesn't want to say things that are going to be, that would take the show down, because that would affect the incomes of so many people involved. Not only just her family members, but everyone involved in it. I get it. But, was it yesterday, I think, on one of her Patreons? Somebody asked about it again, and she's like, yeah, I was under the impression, no kidding, this is what she said. I was under the impression that they were twice a year. And so I thought that one was going to be coming in spring, but here we are and it's May and there's no word. So I don't know. I'm guessing now it'll probably be August. I'm like, we all knew that. The past couple years, they've all been August. Where have you been, McKelty? What do you mean? You mean you made all that up just because you thought you had inside knowledge because you're the only one in the world that remembered there used to be 2 seasons? And you didn't even really remember it correctly because that was a while ago when they would have 2 premieres during the year and shorter seasons. The last couple years, they've all been in August. Oh, I was like ready to kick the computer. Honest to goodness. All right. Let me get back to where we were. So it looks like we have to wait all the way until August after all. I literally made a whole video about Looks Like Sister Wives is premiering in the spring based on her information. I was going to say I feel a fool, but I don't feel a fool. I put the video clips in there. I didn't claim anything on my own. I'm not a person that's just going to state facts when they take a little bit of information. I am going to back it up. All right, so I appreciate it on that note when you all send me ideas and I write things down here, because there may be many months ahead where we are creating additional content and digging through the archives and answering different questions and comparing things like the video I put out yesterday, and just kind of doing a deep dive into what we know so far in Sister Wives to tie us over. Okay. And that being said, I think I'm going to, I feel like I might be ready. We'll see. I feel like I might be ready to go back and do season 18. Because I started this channel at episode 10 in season 18. So there are no reviews for, well, I did go back that week and I did number 1 too, but oh, it's really bad. Episode 10 is probably really bad too, if any of you watched it. I had some sort of like music underneath it all, but it wasn't really music because I thought the music would be distracting. So I found something that was like a hum, kind of sounded like an organ maybe. It is really bad. But I don't have the original video at all to go back and edit it out. And when you upload it to YouTube, it all melds together as one file. So there's no way to take the music out without taking all the audio out. I don't even think you can take all the audio out, to be frank. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, it's all on one track now, so I may actually do episode 1 too, just so that y'all don't have to listen to that again. We'll see. I'll probably start with 2, and then if I have time, I'll do 2 through 9. If I have time, go back to 1, just so that during the summer, if you all want to do the refresher course before we start back up again, you have the videos you can go watch. All right. Ruth Carroll said menopause was hard until I started drinking white sage tea after a week of night sweats were gone. Oh, how nice. I thought when I glanced at it, Ruth, it said menopause was hard until I started drinking white wine. But it's white sage tea. Thank you for the actual tip. I was very much looking forward to white wine. All right. Jenny's group is great, like James. Yes, we all have. I mean, a lot of you are the same. We share a lot of people. So it makes sense. He's got great people too. All right. Dun, 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 dun. She likes to hear herself talk, referring to McKelty. I first saw that and thought it was about me. I was like, oh, all right. Anything else? She loves attention. Mama squirrel. Okay, I'll let y'all read that. It's so funny. A lot of menopause talk. Here we are, all in our 50s. Okay. It's hard to go backwards because it doesn't make sense. But I love all the little comments I just see in here. I see bless your heart. I see explosive diarrhea. I see we're talking about everything. Oh my goodness. You guys are hysterical. All right. People are taking their meds. Excellent. Don't drink and take your meds. Okay, I'm going to continue on here. Let me get back to live chat. Okay, there we go. So I am caught up. Okay. Martinis. Oh, martinis, Kathy. There you go. Lori, you love James. You've been in his chat since he started. Yeah, he's great. I'm clicking on all the James comments here for some reason, because I guess we all love James. I do too. All right. And I'm just going to leave martinis up here. Yeah. Danny, exhaustion and brain fog. Oh, brain fog is real, isn't it? God, I feel exactly like I did after I gave birth when I had brain fog. It's back again. Oh, bliss, oh, joy. Okay, you guys all know I have brain fog. How many times do I sit here and go, what's her name? Oh, Robyn, yeah. I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm not afraid to ask questions. I'm not afraid. I don't edit my videos and go, I should look that up. I just go, what was that called again? I can't remember. You all know. Anyway, just continue on. Life's too short. Okay. I'm going to find where we left off. We were talking about Aspen. We were talking about a store. Money was tight, as it often was. Okay, that's where I think where we are. Speaking of money being tight, did you all guess where my shirt was from? My favorite. It is a boutique called Salvation Armée. My favorite place to shop. We have a great one. If you have one nearby in a very wealthy community, and can I tell you, who was it that was in Nashville, Tennessee? The Goodwill by Belle Meade would be the same one that Taylor Swift would give all her clothes to and all that. My daughter lived there in that area. And so we would go to that. I go to that Goodwill every time I go to Nashville to visit her. And I always leave with a bag of clothes. Half of them have the tags on. I mean, it's crazy. Such a good Goodwill. My daughter found a dress there that had the tags on it that said $600. She looked at the website because she didn't recognize the brand, and nothing on the website was under $500. Yeah. Unfortunately, she tried it on and said it looked horrible on her, so she didn't buy it. But it was only $7.99. I mean, you can't beat it. Oh, such a good Goodwill. I am a resale shopper. Love it. Love it. Okay. Money was really tight then. It often is in our family. We have been married and had kids, but we were financially secure as a group of teenagers. I was looking around the store and I found this white fringe outfit that what does it mean I'm sorry, I got to read that again. That didn't make sense to me. So they're in a clothing store where everything is out of their price range. Money was really tight then. It often is in our family. We may have been married and had kids, but we were as financially secure as a group of teenagers. Okay, I don't know why that didn't register to me. I was looking around the store and I found this white fringe outfit that I just had to try on. When I came out of the dressing room, Janelle said, "Christine, you have to buy that." I protested that it was too expensive. The outfit cost $100. Okay, that would be a lot to me right now. I'm used to my Salvation Army $5.99 or $7.99, just depending. Which is way more than any of us had ever spent on anything besides rent in our lives. Yeah, especially back then, because when Logan was born, right? He's 30 years ago. Can you imagine a $100 outfit? It was ridiculous. But I thought I looked pretty cute in it, and Janelle and Cody clearly agreed. "I don't care," Cody said. "I'm buying that for you." And this is why we're broke. Ah, boy. Where am I? I got too worked up over that. Of course, he said, "Just get it." That's why he loves Robyn so much. "I don't care," Cody said. "I'm buying it for you." Moments like this, away from the duties of family, proved to me that the possibility of a fun and tranquil plural family was indeed within our reach. We had been, you know what? Did Meri not comment on the outfit, or did Meri not go? Oh, Meri wasn't there. Okay, it was just Cody and Janelle. Okay. We had been moving around a lot since I came into the family. I had my own place for a while, as did Janelle, but for financial reasons, right after Aspen was born, we had all moved back into one house. Shortly after this, Meri gave birth to her daughter, Mariah. The house was cramped with 4 adults and 3 children in diapers. Cody was miserable at work. While we tried our best to work on all our relationships with one another and learn how to raise our children, our close living situation made tempers rise. Cody decided we needed a change. We needed to get out of Powell. So we moved from a 1,000 square foot house, wow, that's small, in Wyoming, to a 3,000 square foot house in Utah. That's a huge change. This house was a major change for us. We had both a kitchen and a kitchenette. This meant that Janelle no longer had to share a kitchen with Meri and me, something that had always been a source of strife among the three of us. When we got to Utah and settled into our new larger house, we were able to relax a little. We had, quite literally, more breathing room. Since our daughters were born only a few months apart, the relationship between Meri and me began to deepen. Janelle was able to get her career, which had floundered a little in the tiny town of Powell, back on track. What was her career then? Do we remember what her career was? Because I know when she met Cody, she was doing like placement, she was like a job placement person. But then she lost that job when she moved to Wyoming. So what job did she have there that would depend on, that it wouldn't do as well in Powell, but it would do better somewhere else? It almost seems like a sales kind of thing, but I don't think she was ever in sales. I don't know. All right. Cody is miserable. Okay, yeah. I sometimes, the chat keeps moving. She was working for the state, I think. Oh, you're right, Morticia. You're right. Human resources, Karen. Yeah, it could have been human resources for the state. Yeah, she had a state, because I remember thinking like it was a government job that probably had a pretty good pension and everything along with it and benefits. Okay. But how could she move to another state and do better with her job? There's a question. Unless she just transferred like through the government agency to another one. So many questions. Okay. Meri and I share a lot of common interests, such as cooking and crafts. Since we like to cook the same sort of food, we worked well in the kitchen together. We also love planning family outings and holidays. We often arranged family excursions, so we'd have the opportunity to take tons of photos of the kid in different locations. Honest to God, they couldn't have had an editor. We often arranged family excursions, so we'd have the opportunity to take tons of photos of the kid in different locations. So who's the kid? Who was the preferential kid that they only wanted to take photos of? Because they each had their own of the kid. Kids, I believe you meant to say. I'll go on. We spent a lot of time sewing our children. Sewing our children. We spent a lot of time sewing our children matching outfits. Around Christmas time, we dress up the kids and pile them into the car and drive them to the photo studio for holiday pictures. This was always a chaotic adventure, but well worth it. Our holiday preparations, especially for Christmas and Thanksgiving, were intense. We would start planning months in advance. We organized meals, decorations, activities, gifts, outfits, and surprises for everyone in the family. Once we moved to Utah, things began to look up. We were happy parenting and working. It was during this period that Cody and I began to discover each other. Now that things had settled down and had the space and the freedom to get to know each other in a deeper and more spiritual sense. Now that things settled down, we had the space and the freedom to get to know each other in a more deeper and spiritual sense. We were also able to start having fun, something that was essentially missing during the first year and a half of our marriage. We loved spending time with Aspen. We marveled over how special she was to us. We spent hours playing with her, guessing at the challenges we'd face as parents. We often discussed all the kids and we wanted to have together. We got to know each other by sharing the dreams we had for our children's futures. Talking about the family we wanted really centered our bond and made us remember the love that was the foundation of our marriage. Well, it was the foundation of your marriage. I don't know how in love he was when he married you. I mean, obviously now he says he never was, but even from the book, it seems like he admits his wedding day, he was like a deer in the headlights, so I don't know. All right, I'll go on. A year after we returned to Utah, both Janelle and I had our second children, Madison and McKelty. Suddenly, there were 5 kids in diapers in one house. You would have thought that the chaos would have been too much for us, but the joy of our growing family trumped any domestic issues. What really brought us together and made us more functional is that not long after we moved to Utah, Cody finally found a job he enjoyed. Hallelujah! My goodness, this whole book is all about every job that he had and he hated. All right, he likes a job. Oh, is this the one Meri said he liked because he got to drive a lot, which meant he left? No, because he wanted to get a job that he didn't drive as much. Okay, I'm curious what this is. Cody's new position required him to attend trade shows. Oh, is this the gun selling stuff? One of which was in Navajo, Illinois. Did he have any other trade show jobs besides the whole ammunition accessory kind of business? I know he didn't actually sell guns. I know it was paraphernalia that went along with. All right. This trip would require him to be on the road for 2 weeks, towing his trailer with his materials and displays. Both Meri and Janelle had been on trips with Cody, but I had never had the opportunity. When Cody asked me to go, I was over the moon. He could have taken anyone, and he took me! ! I suddenly felt special again. Wow, it sure didn't take much, did it? She just admitted he already took a trip with Janelle and Meri, and not with her. And she said, he could have taken anybody, but he chose me, and I felt special. I mean, he should have chosen you, Christine, right? He took their cloak of money with them, too. Somebody said cloak of something. I did. I was going to write it down. This week, I don't know if I heard it on television. I don't think so. I think it was in person. It was a cloak of something else. And I just started laughing out loud thinking of all of you guys. I'm thinking you're not going to understand this, so I can't even explain it to you. But we all have a cloak of charity here. Okay. This trip was a huge turning point in our relationship. It was the first time we had spent so much time alone together, just us and our daughters, Aspen and McKelty. In many ways, the trip was a disaster. The car overheated. We had to keep the kids cool by feeding them ice chips. We broke down numerous times. But these hardships only brought Cody and me closer together. No matter how difficult things became, I was prepared to sing songs of joy the entire way. I loved every minute of the adventure at Cody's side. Although our drive was similar to pulling a handcart through the desert, I couldn't wipe the smile from my face. I think Cody really dug my positive attitude. Every time I glanced at him, he looked so cute and sweet. Instead of suffering in the heat, he was beaming. I had loved Cody since before we were married. I suspected that he had been falling in love with me for years. But on that trip is when Cody finally and irrefutably decided that he would step in front of a train for me, which is what he told me when we returned home. That trip was our true honeymoon experience. We had come so far since our official honeymoon, when I worried that I'd married too quickly and to a seemingly distant man. to a seemingly distant man I loved but didn't really know. Now I was certain that we were soulmates. What would you guys think about that? Can you fall in love with somebody you don't know? Lynn, they pawned, I'm sorry, glance up. These cloak things. Lynn, you're knocking it out of the park. They pawned the cloak to pay for Robyn's junk. I don't know about that. In my world, you can't fall in love with anyone until you really get to know them. It's like that moment when you see their heart inside truly for the first time, when it comes to be. So I don't know if she's just trying to convince herself of that, or I don't know. Ethel, you think it's lust? I do too. I just think she thought he was cute. And she called it love because when you're young and dumb, you think you're in love because you want to be around that person, but you really just want to be around that person because they're cute. All right. So after they got married, really, they both started to fall in love. All right. Mrs. Alicia, hello. Welcome. Okay. At the end of our trip, we turned to each other and said, I know that I can trust you to be an amazing and incredible person for the rest of our lives together. I know that I will always be there for you and do everything possible to make things better for you. This was our commitment to each other. We both knew then that if and when disaster should strike, we would hold each other and look into each other's eyes and tell each other that we are glad for every second we spend together. Well, that's kind of sad, right? All right, Lynn, I'm not going to click it again because you're killing me. You got your cloak from Liberace. Why do I keep, every time I look up, it's right after you post a cloak comment. Killing me. All right. So she says they made a commitment to each other that should disaster ever strike, i.e. COVID, we would hold each other and look into each other's eyes and tell each other that we are glad for every second we spent together. Alicia. Did I say Alicia? Alicia. Oh, is it pronounced Alicia and I said Alicia? Well, see, now I don't know what I said. I can go back and rewatch the tape of this. Alicia. This is the same thing that happened the other day with, was it? Oh, it skips my mind. Brain fog. It's real. Oh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Short E or long E? I was trying to figure out. And then she said the second one, and I was like, I don't remember what I said for the second one. Yes, hit the like button, please. I appreciate you. All right. So anyway, that sentence didn't track because as soon as a disaster struck, he not only didn't hold her in his arms and look into her eyes and tell her that he's glad for every second they spent together, but he was on the other side of town and refused to even come within 6 feet of her. So sad. Okay. Pronounced Alicia, spelled Alicia. Pronounced Alicia, spelled Alicia. Pronounced Alicia, spelled Alicia, or pronounced Alicia, spelled Alicia. See, to me, they're both the same. They both could be Alicia or Alicia. Thank you, Sam, for appreciating and recognizing my senior moment. I have many of them. We have each other. Seniors unite. Okay. For many years, I felt that our lives were perfect. I loved being part of the family. I loved homeschooling the kids and taking care of the household. I received all the benefits that I expected from a plural marriage. My other mothers had provided so much for me when I was growing up that the prospect of raising many, many kids together was precisely what I had in mind when I accepted the principle. For more than a decade, I had two best friends with whom I had the pleasure of rearing a wonderful household of children. Okay, that paragraph has got to piss off Robyn, don't you think? I mean, yeah. She said, for more than a decade, basically, i.e., from when the kids were born, it must take you right up, actually, because it was like a year after she was there. So for more than a decade, basically, until Robyn came, I had two best friends with whom I had the pleasure of rearing a wonderful household of children. Yeah, that's got to sting, that one. That was a dig. There's a lot of digs between these people here. Lots of them. Okay. In many ways, I feel that I kept the household running by taking care of so many of the practical affairs. For years, I enjoyed this position. I loved being the primary stay-at-home mom. I cooked and cleaned. I had a garden and I canned. Since both Meri and Janelle worked, if Cody had a problem, something that needed to be done or fixed, I took care of it. I prided myself in being there for everyone all the time. I tried to make sure that all the holidays and birthdays were special. Whenever we had family functions, my house had to be perfect. The food had to be perfect. I needed to create the ideal environment for what I believe is our perfect family. While I was doing this, I began to teach at the church school part-time. Then I joined the board of the Sunday school and taught a Sunday school class. I also became an academic advisor. The church and the home are the most important places in our lives, and I needed them to be perfect too. Wow, why did she take on so many responsibilities when she was the primary caregiver and full-time homeschooler? That's a lot. And then she started to teach part-time. Okay, I think that's when the kids basically were at school, so there was only like one or two little ones left at home, and then I think they worked it out that Meri watched the little ones during that time when she worked. But she joined the board of the Sunday school. First of all, a non-paying position, being on a board. Well, some high ones, but certainly not at a church. That's a non-paying position. And she taught Sunday school class. Again, another non-paying. I mean, she's just like filling her life with all kinds of stuff. Huh. Why'd she do so much? I wonder, and she became an academic advisor? I mean, it's crazy. Okay. And she tried to make it all perfect. Well, we all know who had kids. It wasn't perfect because no matter how hard we try, it's a disaster. We just do our best and it's okay. Then one day, I realized I was overwhelmed, too stressed out by all I had taken on. Okay. I hadn't noticed, but for a while, I'd been unable to give 100% to anything I did. Unintentionally, I started letting everything slip. Sometimes I should just continue to read on before commenting. Around this time, Cody and I decided to have another baby. I realized that I could stop holding everything together and do the one thing I always wanted to do, be the best mom possible. My kids are the most important thing in my life, and I know that I would never be comfortable if I wasn't completely there for them. During my pregnancy, I decided to give up all non-maternal duties. I stopped teaching. I told my family I was very stressed out and I needed to take some time off from everything but being a mom. For nearly 15 years, I devoted myself single-mindedly to preserving everyone else's happiness, but now I needed to restore mine. There was another factor that led to this drastic reconfiguration of my place in the household. About a year before I became pregnant with Truly, I had a devastating argument with Meri. For a while, this must be, remember last week I was talking about the argument with Meri and who was it? Oh, maybe it was, I thought it was Meri and Janelle. Meri and Janelle had a big argument. And I skipped through McKelty's reading of the book because I don't want to hear any of it. But if I see her lift her head on the video, I'll pause to see what she has to say in case it's like any good juicy nugget that I can share with you all. And all she said was, I remember that fight. And it was a pretty big one. It was pretty bad. I bet this must be what she's referring to because her mother was involved in it. Okay. All right. 1 year before I became pregnant with Truly, I had a devastating, and 1 year before Truly, McKelty would have really remembered it too. Okay, that makes sense. I had a devastating argument with Meri. For a while, I'd been feeling that she was too tough on my kids. While I understood that all children need discipline, I often felt that she went too far when it came to my children. It seemed to me that she was taking her frustrations out on my kids in particular. As a result of this, many of them were weary of her and were afraid to cross her accidentally. I let the situation go on too long, and I let my emotions well up. Instead of talking to Meri calmly and explaining what I'd observed her doing and how she might fix her behavior, I exploded. I yelled and screamed and told her to stop talking to my kids and to stop interfering in their lives. Oh, wow, okay. Since I'm afraid of confrontation, I always allow stuff to build up till it's too late. So instead of trying to work it out with Meri, I just shut her out. This argument shattered my world and made me realize that I have always had superficial relationships with people. I've always tried to ignore problems by putting on a brave face and keeping people at a distance. This fight made me realize that I'd never honestly opened up to Meri and Janelle, but had forged our friendships out of a need to cement the sister-wife ideal I'd envisioned. Wow. Big fight. Mm-hmm. 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 How come it won't? Christine told Meri she hoped Meri couldn't have kids. For real? Okay, how do you know that, Lori? That's crazy. This is why Christine always had to be positive. It was how Cody fell in love with her, but he only liked the positive Christine. Yes. That's right, the baker. I remember her saying that at one point, that he basically told her, like, I don't want to hear any problems or issues or anything when I come over here. You're the fun one. I need you to be the fun one. So she had to put on the happy face whenever he came over. Okay. Gwen said Meri was the only one who knew how to parent. What? If she said that, those are hurtful words. I can only imagine what Christine would think if she heard that. And especially because so many people are saying that Christine's kids got the brunt of the mistreatment. You remember that now. Meri seemed to be a control freak. It would get on your nerves, yeah. And Christine lost a baby that year too. Yeah, she probably was, well, we know she went through a major postpartum with Truly. So my feeling is that the same hormones with losing that baby, she probably was on top of just the sheer grief of it all. Yeah, she probably just couldn't take it anymore. Okay. I do remember the one comment McKelty made about it before she went back to reading, and then I started fast forwarding again. I remember her saying that the kids, it was a huge fight. It was a big blow up fight, but afterwards the kids kind of felt vindicated and validated because they felt like it had gone on for a long time, that they were sharing everything that was going on, and they felt like nobody had their back. So they felt like at this time, but I don't, again, no specifics from this family, so who really knows what happened? Okay, I'm going to continue on. Here we go. After our fight, Meri and I stayed out of each other's way. We no longer sought out each other's company to watch movies or just hang out. When circumstances brought us together, we were never openly rude or hostile. We maintained a level of cordiality, but the warmth was gone. To this day, we are still working on becoming closer again. It has been a slow process of starting to feel comfortable being open and honest with each other. We have had to learn how to immediately tell one another if we feel offended by something. We still do not have the wonderfully close relationship we used to share. I know we will continue working on it, though. My relationship with Meri is very important to me. I'm certain she feels the same way about me. Well, that line didn't age well either, did it? Although I will say I do think that Meri feels that way about Christine. I do think that Meri really wishes that her and Christine, she come out and said it in season 18 quite a bit, on how she misses the fun they used to have. And, they've been through a lot, just kind of glossing over the whole thing. But wow. So this is all based on hurts from a long time ago. I don't know what I think about that now. There are times that I thought, I was like, yeah, Meri should stay away. She can't control herself around the kids. But that was a long time ago. I don't know why they haven't sat down and worked through this. I don't know why Christine didn't. I mean, maybe it's Meri's fault. I don't know. I'm really torn on this whole situation, and I just want more information. That's why I'm torn, because we get bits and parts, and so we have to fill it in ourselves. There are more than 200 people in the chat. I think that's the first time, isn't it, girls? Sister friends? I don't know. You guys probably pay attention to it more than me, but I don't think we've ever gone over 200 in the chat. So hello and welcome to all of you, because obviously some of you are new. I appreciate you. And if you have not clicked the like button, please do so now. Let's get 200 likes before we go. That'd be awesome. Well, there's over 100 likes. Oh, look at how good you guys are. I love you all, sister friends. All right. After my fight with Meri, I realized that the only people I'd ever let in were my mother and Cody. My mother broke my heart by divorcing my father and leaving our faith. About a year after the argument, we met Robyn, and even though I welcomed her into the family, it shook my foundation and left me unsure of whether I could trust Cody's commitment to our marriage. Yeah. Okay, so it says right there, she was not interested in this at the beginning. Every now and then when I mention it in some of my videos, somebody will write down below, no, Christine was all for it. I'm like, no, they show video clips of her saying okay, but there's just as many video clips of her going, I don't know why we're doing this. I think everything's fine the way it is. She better be extra special. Something like that. What was that line that she said? She said something like that at the end of season 1. Well, if she's coming, I don't even think it was the end of season 1. I think it was earlier on. If somebody else is going to come and upset the apple cart in this family, she better be super or extra special or something. And she said it kind of with like an evil eye. I was here for it. That's what got me hooked. Oh my goodness. Okay. So it was only 1 year after the fight that they met Robyn. Is this timing convenient or what? Everything is fine between the three of them. Everything's happy-go-lucky. Meri has her bestie in Christine. And then the big blowout fight. And within a year, Robyn's in the picture. Meri has a new bestie. Wow. Do you think if that fight never happened, there'd be no Robyn? I think that's a real possibility. I really do. Oh, goodness. Jenny, this family does not talk ever. They can't even figure out what to do with oranges and laundry soap, for God's sake. Yeah, that's so true. They're still talking about how they can't work that out. I mean, it must have been huge fights about it, since still to today they can reference those specific things that they couldn't figure out. And how to fold the clothes, how to appropriately fold the clothes, and if you should touch Meri's clothes out of the dryer and take them out or not, and just leave them there, remember? Okay. Okay. The four of us, Meri, Janelle, Cody, and I, had been a nearly perfect unit for almost 16 years of the near absolute bliss. Over that time, there had been minor discussions of potential courtships, but nothing ever came of it. I had grown used to being the last wife. I loved being the last wife. Cody and I had tremendous relationship. He was my best friend and my closest confidant. Since Meri, Janelle, and I all served entirely unique functions in Cody's life, I never had any cause to be jealous of his relationships with my sister wives. My fights with them never had anything to do with Cody. I knew that Cody's relationships with both of them were great. And I knew that what I brought to him and to the family was different from any other wife. I was entirely secure and at peace regarding my marriage and my importance in Cody's world. Jealousy had simply never, ever been a part of my life. But when a fourth woman entered the picture, this changed. Bum, bum, bum. Wow. Nothing like leading into it, talking about how amazing their life was pre-Robyn. Growing up polygamous, I'd watch other women go through the experience of getting new sister wives. I never understood their jealous reactions. Whenever they complained about the domestic upheaval caused by a new wife, I wanted to tell them, it's all part of the principle. You're just being a baby. Or, feeling jealous is a choice. You are choosing to be jealous. Get over yourself. I should have listened to my own counsel. I didn't understand how hard it could be. Okay. This reminds me of, is anybody watching? I know a bunch of you are watching Seeking Sister Wives. All right, if you want to watch my reviews on Seeking Sister Wives, you need to go to Reality TV Breakdown. It's the name of my other channel, Reality TV Breakdown. All the Seeking Sister Wives reviews are there. And just in the last episode, do you remember it was Nyla? Nyla said that she is comfortable in her relationship with Naeem right now, and that she would be fine and welcome a sister wife, and that she's convinced that she would not be jealous because jealousy is an emotion and not a fact, right? Was it emotion and not a fact? I know the second part was it wasn't a fact. And I just thought, oh, you are older, and I know you're in your 40s. I found out she's in her 40s. My goodness, Black Don't Crack. She looks so amazing. jealous. So yeah, she's 40 or something like that. I still don't think she's going to do well if they actually get another sister wife. I don't. She said she's been fine, but he's never had any, like, he's never kissed anybody, or, you know, all he's done is given a hug to all the other. Okay, I'm sorry. We're talking Seeking Sister Wives here. That's another. I should do Seeking Sister Wives live chats. I wonder. Somebody recommended that a while ago. Let me know if any of you are watching it, if you want to do a Seeking Sister Wife. Whew. We'd probably get really heated on that one, though. That is crazy, that show. Okay. So this just made me thinking of it when she said, feeling jealous is a choice. No, it's not a choice. You can't help it if you feel jealous. You can choose how you react on it, but I don't think you can choose jealousy or not. I mean, my goodness, the world would be a better place if we could, right? If we could all just say, no jealousies left anymore because you choose it, and so we're just not going to choose it. That's pretty naive. Okay. I really feel that I owe Robyn an apology. In many ways, I betrayed her. Before she and Cody were courting, I was really enthusiastic about her, and I wanted her to love our family and to love me. I went out of my way to show her our best side. The first time Robyn came over to our house, I made sure we had a big meal ready. I put as much effort as I could into welcoming Robyn with open arms. We have such a wonderful family, and I wanted to ensure that she had no choice but to fall for all of us. However, when she and Cody courted and married, I was no longer the sweet person Robyn first met. The loving sister wife I'd initially promised her disappeared. I feel guilty for offering something to Robyn I couldn't provide. I felt as if I lied to her. If I did, it was through no fault of Robyn's, but entirely due to my own problems. I feel blessed in knowing that Robyn is generous enough to forgive me. Wow. Do we think for a second that Robyn could ever write something so introspective and humble? Ever. Love Christine or not, this is a very, very raw, vulnerable thing to put in writing. Oh my goodness. And she feels guilty for offering something to Robyn they couldn't provide. Well, you know what? And Robyn claims that at times by saying, like, I didn't know. But didn't we just read in Meri's paragraph that Meri and Cody were in therapy, and Robyn also went to therapy with them, and sometimes went to therapy with just Meri before they got married to work through things. She wasn't that naive to think that it was all bliss. Why would she be in therapy to work things out with Meri? So don't be so hard on yourself, Christine. Not that you're watching this, but if you were to. Don't be so hard on yourself. She knew what was going on. Cody told her everything. So if Christine was putting on an act, he, to be like, okay, well, she's a little over the top here today. She's not always that bubbly. Okay, Purple wants to know if Robyn can write her own name. Good question. Never saw it, but possibly. Yes, Sam, Robyn could never be humble like that, in your opinion. I agree. I don't think that that's possible. Don't think it's possible. All right. I should be clicking on these when I read them, right? Sorry, people. Linda thinks that Robyn is damn smart when it comes to getting what she wants. Absolutely. Boy, when you go back and look at it now in hindsight, it just all looks almost diabolical. An idea for that, Linda, but it was like specifically referring to how diabolical and manipulative she was in terms of getting money the financial side of it, I thought would make a good video. Coming to a channel you like soon. As soon as I can do all the research and get all the clips. All right. Yes, Robert is the master manipulator. Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to go on here. Cody and Robyn's courtship came at a time of huge personal upheaval. I was pregnant with Truly, and we had also entered new and uncharted territory as we began filming Sister Wives for TLC. When Cody started courting and then married Robyn, it really rocked me. I gave birth to Truly and was suffering from extreme postpartum depression. I never thought I'd feel such a sense of loss and such crippling jealousy. I thought I was better and stronger than that. I really did. Interesting how she writes this. She's pregnant with Truly. And they had entered, past tense, they had already happened. They had already entered into new uncharted territory as they began filming Sister Wives for TLC. And then Cody started courting. So the timeline is clear. The TLC show was up and going. And we do know that they were shooting a pilot and then additional episodes in case the pilot got picked up well before the show was ever picked up and taken. So this was all pre-Robyn. So if anyone were to say Robyn didn't know, she knew. It was going on. I think McKelty mentioned that the pilot was shot and then it was being shopped out by the producer of their show to many different networks. And during the time it was getting shopped out in that, he felt pretty confident that it was going to get picked up. So they went ahead during that time and they were shooting additional footage, doing additional trips and extra stuff to kind of put it in the can, to have it ready to go so that if it got picked up, they would have stuff ready to go right away. And you're right, Lori. She was a first cousin of Robyn's ex. She knew. Yeah. Robyn knew what was going on. Christine knew Robyn. Yeah. This pleading ignorance is not sitting well. Okay. The strangest thing is that I had a stronger testimony that Robyn should be part of our family than I ever did about whether I should marry Cody myself. I was certain beyond a shadow of a doubt that marrying Robyn was the right thing to do. I recognized immediately what an awesome, special, and wonderful person she was. I'm sorry. That wasn't supposed to be funny. I recognized immediately what an awesome, special, and wonderful person she was. Again, another line in Christine's chapter that does not age well. She belonged in our lives. And I knew that she and Cody deserved each other. Okay, well, that could be, because they still deserve each other. And Christine still says they deserve each other. Go, run off, be together. And this is what made it so hard. Interesting. I wonder if I wonder if Christine thought that they deserved each other more than she saw her wanting to come into the family, being a part of the family, being an essential part of the family, because those are the two kind of components. And she sort of ended it and anchored it with, I knew that she and Cody deserved each other, and this is what made it so hard. Like, I think she saw a kind of love between them that she hadn't seen with herself or any of the other sister wives. So she thought, well, obviously, if it's deeper than anything we have now, we should accept it, not looking long term that is going to be majorly detrimental to the OG3 wives. Yeah. Despite my testimony that Cody courting Robyn was the right thing to do, I could not curtail my own insecurity that Cody was abandoning me for someone else. The undeniable fact that our lifestyle is that no matter how strongly committed to it you are and how... Okay. The undeniable fact about our lifestyle is that no matter how strongly committed to it you are and how much you long for sister wives, it is difficult to keep your petty jealousies in check. It's an interesting way of putting the grammar, but okay. It was apparent that Cody and Robyn shared a destiny, but I couldn't help but feel that this might marginalize my place in Cody's life. Ding, ding, ding. You're right. It did. Wonder if she's writing all this because this is like a year into Sister Wives, right at the beginning? I don't even think it was 2 years in when they wrote this book, because I think the book came out around the second year. I don't know when Sister Wives came out. This was 2000 and published in 2012. I'm thinking they started writing this right away. And I think that was Christine's way of letting Robyn know, you upset the apple cart. Things were good before you. All right. If Robyn had been a lesser woman, not as emotionally and spiritually intelligent, not as strong or as generous, I might not have been threatened by her. And as ungenerous as it is to say, I could have, at least in part, disregarded her. But Cody didn't deserve a lesser woman. And I never would have allowed him to marry somebody who wasn't as wonderful as Robyn. I wonder if, again, another statement that doesn't age well, but do you think back then Robyn just really pulled the wool over everybody's eyes? Maybe we shouldn't be so hard on Meri and Christine and even Janelle. Janelle was just kind of like, yeah, that's great. I feel moved and compelled. We should do this. I wonder if because we see what's all happening now, we're so hard on them back then for doing it. But maybe she was just that. She's pretty manipulative. I don't know. Okay. During Robyn and Cody's courtship, it was evident to me how wonderful she and Cody were together and how much in love they were. I feel abandoned by my best friend, and as if once more I'd lost my identity. I couldn't see myself as Cody's wife. Instead, I felt inconsequential, as if I'd been pushed to the side. It's a horrible feeling when you let someone in, allow him to become the most important person in your world, and then he replaces you. Ooh. When this happened, I began to demand more of Cody, which was hard for him. He had started courting Robyn, so he had less to give me. Or at least that's what it felt like. Nevertheless, despite my own hurt, I have to hand it to Cody. When it comes to bringing in other wives and making everyone feel safe and secure with the transition, he has done a superb job. During Cody's courtship of... Sorry, the grammar in these sentences. During Cody's courtship of and marriage to Robyn, I felt that I needed more from him than he was giving me. He couldn't love me enough or spend enough time with me. Nothing he did satisfied me. I was so panicked about being neglected that I wanted more. I nagged and nitpicked. I felt it was his responsibility to do all the heavy lifting in our relationship. Yeah, and little did you know that you were going to go into labor with that baby and he was going to leave you too and go make out with his girlfriend. And I agree with you. It was his responsibility to do the heavy lifting. He's the one bringing in another wife, messing everything up. Oh, this is very Garrick, isn't it? Everyone who watches Seeking Sister Wives. Like, they better work it out. It's their problem. No. It is his responsibility to step up. He's not giving Christine what she needs. And if he can't court a new wife and still give Christine what she needs, then he shouldn't be getting another wife. End of story. Gary is too much for me. Yeah. And right, Christine wasn't the only wife who lost Cody to Robyn. You're absolutely right. Look at this, Gwyneth. Hi, Gwyneth. I don't think I said hello. Robyn has never searched herself and found herself wanting, right? Notice how she has always accepted Christine's apologies, but has never offered an apology of her own. Yep. We can have a whole nother video too on just all the times Robyn complained that the family doesn't communicate and sits down and says, all right, we need to work through this. So, okay, get it out. That's like all she offers. She's never vulnerable. She never offers solutions. She doesn't even put the problems on the table. She just like gets everyone together and is like, okay, y'all fight. I'm going to keep my hands clean. Yeah. All right. Kathy, you're terrible. Okay. The strangest thing. Oh, wait, no, I read that. And I read that. Robyn being a lesser woman, but she wasn't. Ugh. I think this is where we are. During Robyn and Cody's courtship, it was evident to me how wonderful she and Cody were together and how much in love they were. I felt oh no, I read this. Here's the whole nagging and nitpicking thing. That's where I think we left off. I nagged and nitpicked. I felt like it was his responsibility. Okay. I have to admit, during that period, I wasn't a lot of fun to be around. Eventually, Cody had enough. I was venting to him once about some way in which I felt that I was being shortchanged, and he just looked at me and said, quote, I just want my best friend back. I need you, I miss you, and I want you back. There were tears in his eyes. When I realized he wasn't saying it to be hurtful, which, by the way, was totally stupid to think, I began to change and to take the advice I'd so blithely given other women living plural marriage. During the period I was taking out my own unhappiness and insecurity on Cody, I learned a lot from my kids. Kids being kids, they can whine and complain. They can nitpick and pester me about the smallest, most inconsequential thing. When they test me to the max, I can no longer deal with being around them. So I send them to their rooms. Suddenly I realized that's what my kids were doing to me. Suddenly I realized that what my kids were doing to me, I was doing to Cody. I needed to stop harassing him and making demands on him. I had to let myself love him and let him love me too. I wanted my best friend back. I'm sorry, but if you can't complain or share what you're thinking, what kind of marriage is it anyway? She had to just love him, no matter what. Even though he wasn't giving her as much time anymore, or as much affection, or as much anything, she still had to love him. Okay. It's been a big change for me from being the person people could rely on for holidays and family meals to becoming the dependent one. During my struggles with postpartum depression and my own issues with making room for a new wife, I had to ask my sister wives to take over some of my duties, to organize family meals and trips and take care of the little kids during the day. I needed to lean on them while I rebuilt my own inner strength. Meri and I have gone a long way toward repairing our relationship. We have been traveling together, and I believe that we are back on track. But still, I'm hurting. Okay. This just confuses me, this Meri and Christine relationship. The big fight happened before Robyn was ever in the picture. And they were like besties before that. And she said they're still repairing. So this is now, I don't know how many years later, because I don't remember how many. It was a year before Robyn came. So this is probably 3-4 years later. She's saying we're starting to rebuild our relationship. But she admits she's still hurting. Is she still hurting because Meri never apologized? Maybe? And then that's why it's gone so many years without a real reconciliation, because she never felt like Meri was sorry for the way she treated. I mean, I am sorry, but you look at my kids sideways. Mama Jenny's coming down on you. I can discipline my kids, and I do, but nobody else really can, even if it's a sister wife. It's just different. And I understand Christine had to discipline the kids too, because she was the primary caregiver, and they all at certain times had to discipline. Even if my kids would go to grandma's house, which was really the only babysitter we ever used, if they did something wrong, grandma had permission to discipline them. I mean, and by discipline, I don't mean anything aggressive or spanking or anything like that, but like, giving them a timeout if they needed it, or a stern talking to or whatever. My kids were really emotional. They were pretty easy to get in line, because you just raise your voice at them and they instantly started to like get tears in their eyes. We just weren't a yelling house. I always had a pretty calm voice, and everything was pretty happy-go-lucky. And then if they did something really wrong that was like endangering themselves or somebody else, or blatantly disrespecting me and doing something I said not to, and I raised my voice, they'd be like, so it was pretty easy for me to discipline my kids. But if somebody else, and maybe because of that, it makes it hard for me to understand another person coming in and disciplining them in a way that apparently was too aggressive, according to Christine. I really want to know what that looked like. I want to know what crossed the line. And somebody else pointed out, when I did the video about who's going to write a book, and I went through all the kids and said why they would be good to write a book or why they wouldn't. If you haven't watched that video, it's a good one. If I may say so myself. Somebody pointed out, because I had said that Hayden would write a good book because he's very willing to be open, and he's been the most forthright in this whole circumstance about Meri maybe being more aggressive with the kids than what we thought was because of what Hayden said. And he mentioned physical abuse with McKelty in particular, and McKelty said that she didn't remember that. So I had said, I don't know if we can trust Hayden in writing a book, but if he were to write it and his siblings were to proofread it before it got published, then I would be all for it, because then we know that he wouldn't be embellishing. I don't think he was lying, but I thought maybe he was embellishing. But then somebody else pointed out McKelty's probably just protecting Meri so that she can protect the show again, so that down the road. And like I said before, McKelty mentioned that she's not going to give any specifics about Meri because of the show and all the people's livelihoods that are involved in it, and fear that it would affect it. So maybe McKelty's just coming right out and lying and saying that there was no physical abuse at all, and there was. I don't know. I have lots of questions about that too. I really do. I would love to have a lot of information. Okay. Yes, lots of lies. Kathy, seeking sister wives is a dumpster hot fire. Absolutely. And amazing, isn't it? I hate that I love it, but I do. Oh my goodness. It's shocking because it's real. This is really happening. And when you see kids and other family members involved, you know, okay, this is real. They're not going to do this and bring a whole family into it. And it's just a mess. All right. Linda, you have a theory? What's your theory? My theory, at the beginning, Meri made efforts with Christine with motive to cancel out Janelle. And when it didn't happen, their relationship soured. Oh, that could be. Meri the whole time could have been like almost overly acting besties with Christine because she never really liked Janelle. And that would stick it to Janelle. Like, the two of us are good friends. Sorry for you. That could be. That could be. We only have a page and a half left, people, and then we're done. I'm going to look at a couple chats here before I... Tracy says Christine would get more friendship from beer and Skittles. A term I now know. Yes. Tracy says he needs to shut the F up, like Janelle said. Yes, Janelle, she has words of wisdom since season 18, didn't she? I'm sad, Tracy says, that Christine felt like Cody was her best friend. And even more sad if he was. That's going to be a lonely place to be. Yeah. Yeah, and there's a lot of evidence of this, Isabel, isn't there? That Cody kept the wives fighting over him, that he didn't want them to be friends. The fact that he would talk about what the other wives were saying about them in their bedrooms, but yet they thought, naively, they thought that whatever they told him was in the vault and that nobody else would know about it. And they thought they were the special one that he would share what the other wives said. I learned very early on in my life, if a friend is coming to you talking about a different friend, that friend is also going to the other friend talking about me. So, all right. My Jenny. Am I still my Jenny to all of you? Forrest Gump reference. Oh, here, that was a response to Male Mama Rut. Had to go pick up grandkids at school. I'm late. I'm gonna go back, do the rewatch crew after this. Love you, Jenny. I kept hearing Tom Hanks' voice saying that too. Thanks. Oh, saying that too. So both of you somebody else must have referenced it even before. Yeah, there are some people who call me my Jenny from Forrest Gump. I am very happy to be your Jenny. All right, I'm going to finish up the rest of this chapter. The baker said it's sad Christine doesn't feel like her jealousy is justified. Right? This practicing this faith means being unreasonable and not in touch with your emotions. Any emotion that would negatively impact the man is a wrong emotion. all about the husband, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to finish up here. Okay, Christine writes, I have been very frank with Meri, Janelle, Robyn, and Cody about where I stand emotionally. Okay, that's true. That's true. We've seen it since season 1. Which can I also say, and I know I'm going to put this in a video too, that for Robyn again to say, I didn't know there were problems. Is she claiming she never saw the show? Not only did you live it and you were amongst them and you should have known, but it's on television. We're watching it. They're editing it together for you even. You don't even have to watch all the raw footage. Okay, I'm going to go on. I let them know what I need from them and what I can and cannot do. I recognize that they are always there for me and everyone is supporting me now. I need their patience and their understanding. I will get through this, but I need time. I am lucky to have a wonderful, supportive husband. This is present tense. So at the point of writing this book, it's very clear that she has not worked through any of her jealousies and that she's still not happy with Robyn being there. That's present tense. That's not past tense. I recognize that they are always there for me and everyone is supporting me now. I think she meant now I recognize, but anyway. I need their patience and their understanding. That's future tense. This is what I need going forward. I need their patience and understanding. I will, future tense again, I will get through this, but I need time. I am lucky to have a wonderful, supportive husband. Wow, I didn't know that when she wrote this, she was still really struggling with all of these emotions. Okay, so we're multiple years into the show and this is still an issue. I mean, it was an issue the whole time, but she's coming out and saying it. She's being like, I don't know why Cody couldn't deal with it or Robyn and fix it. As our family has become more settled, Cody has been more available to us as a group, taking on a leadership role in the day-to-day concerns that were once my chosen obligations. In many ways, this is more appropriate. Yes, it is. He's made this transition wonderfully, which speaks to the amazing emotional maturity he's achieved over the years. You know what? I wish I would have known how many times in this book these wives were going to reference how immature and emotionally stunted Cody is, and how many lines there are about how, like, he's really growing up. Look at him. He's gaining some emotional maturity. I mean, how many kids do they have now? 13. It's about time. Don't you think? Oh, I wish I would have thought of it. I would have highlighted them all and then just had like a video where I'll just read all the times that the wives are saying, Cody's growing up. He's becoming a big boy. Okay. I think he gets overwhelmed a little quicker than I used to, but he's learned to listen to all of us. Again, he's learned. He's learned to listen to all of us, to take our needs and problems into consideration, and then to apply them to the overall picture. I'm very happy to take a back seat while he does this. Although Cody is a stronger man than he's ever been and grows more and more reliable every day, I feel a lack of stability in our own relationship. I can only blame myself and my insecurities for this. Wow, she is really beating herself down in this chapter, isn't she? I did not expect this. She's really not putting any of this on Cody's shoulders. All of this is, oh, this is my fault. I shouldn't be jealous. I shouldn't be feeling like this. I blame myself. Robyn's amazing. It's my insecurity that I'm not accepting her. No. Okay. I will get through this. only when I've strengthened my relationship with God. Oh, no. This will return my confidence to me. Then all of the jealousy will vanish and everything will fall into place. No. She's going back to being naive again. The heck? Are you serious here? She really wrote that. I can only blame myself and my insecurities. I will get through this only when I've strengthened my relationship. She's blaming her relationship is not strong enough with God, and that's why they have problems. Again, doesn't this sound like something Garrick would say? Oh my goodness. Who taught her that? This will return my confidence to me. Then all the jealousy will vanish and everything will fall into place. No, that's all I can say. No. No. I am not liking this. All right. At the end, she writes, I know this will happen because our family is incredibly strong. I've seen a lot of polygamous families in my life, and ours is the bomb. My own insecurities pale in comparison to our collective strength. In the long run, I know my struggles are temporary. Another sentence that doesn't age well. Yeah, no. They're not temporary. They went all the way into season 18. I have an amazing husband who is my best friend, and I have 3 truly incredible sister wives. Although there have been some rough periods, I never dreamed it would be this great. Of all the examples of plural families I've seen, ours is truly the best. Okay, that last little bit is just like a commercial for sister wives. She doesn't believe any of those words. She wrote that because that's her job, is to sell the show and to sell polygamy, really. That's what Cody said. Like, we're trying to show you that this is an okay thing to do. Like, that was their job, to sell polygamy, is like, this is okay. This can be normal. You can live in society and not be wearing prairie dresses and be polygamous. You should try it too. Yeah, I don't believe anything she wrote there at the end. That disappoints me in you, Christine. You fell right back. It's like part of this, it feels like she starts to get strong and realize herself, and then doesn't it seem like she falls back as she's writing into, but it's really all my fault. And then later on it'd be like, I really don't know about this, and I don't know. And then, however, it's me. And she admits, like, I was raised the way that you're supposed to just pretend, and so I don't want to do that anymore. But then she ends up just pretending and making up BS at the end that's not true. It is not so great right now because Robyn is there. I could almost believe it if she wrote this a while ago, before Robyn was ever in the picture. Yeah, Mama Squirrel. The cult upbringing is strong in Christine, right? Yeah. And then when you point out things like that, it makes me think you can't blame her, right? When you're programmed that way, when you're raised that way. I mean, it takes a long time. I don't know. If many of us have been this way, but like I was sort of raised, in our community where I lived, really politics were not mentioned in my house at all. And I found out after I was in college that my parents were 2 different political parties. So that's why we never talk politics. But I was also raised to never talk religion, politics, or money with other people. And certainly not at a dinner table if you're going out to eat. Those were off the table. They were also off the table in our own house. And yet we were Christians, which means you're supposed to share the good news. But we don't talk God, even though we all believe the same thing. But the point being, everyone in our community politically was a certain way. And it wasn't until after I was married that I started to change my political views. And it wasn't because of my husband, because we both had the same political views when we were married. And then I changed mine later on, just due to circumstances that came up and me kind of looking at things differently and realizing I've always been told that this was the right way. Let me just intellectually really look at it. And then I saw it differently. And I think religions are sometimes that way as well, that like we believe what we were taught, right? When we were being raised. And sometimes as you get older in life and you dive into it, and hopefully people look at what their faith and their religion is and what the doctrine is they're believing, they look at it and realize, yeah, like I should be taking this more seriously. And then they can really take it on as part of their life. And then other people will look at it and go, whoa, I don't think this is true. Once I start looking at apologetics and other kind of research and everything, like, I'm not so sure about this. So I say all that to say that she was raised very much in a mind control kind of cult of this is the right way, this is the way it should be. And it was very culty because they really kept themselves apart from the rest of society for fear of being prosecuted, because what they were also doing was wrong, which is very interesting. That it was deemed wrong later on in life, not like early on and then it was a poor decision or like, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, I have to think on that one. I never really thought about that. But because of that, they were a very insular community and didn't do a whole lot of interacting and socializing. Meri wrote in her section of the book that it wasn't until she was in high school, I believe it was. In high school, she got a job at the mall in the picture studio and for the first time had friends that were not part of her faith. And so she thought, maybe I don't want to be a polygamist. Like, it's interesting. They look like they have great lives too. So she was completely on the fence before she met Cody. I really think Meri would have left the faith because I think Meri needs a monogamous relationship for sure. But I think she just fell head over heels in love with Cody, who then said, I really like your faith. Let's get married and practice your faith. And so she said, okay. But I think she would have actually, in the long run, been happier if she would have taken on his faith at the time, which was just LDS, not the AUB. Yeah, I think they would have been happier in the long run. I wonder if Cody would have gotten ants in his pants and then wanted them to switch to AUB so he could have another wife. I don't know. I mean, there was the influence of the fact that Cody's parents did become polygamists. So he did have that influence always as well, too. So if he decided to just stay LDS, which he always was, I wonder if he would have tried to convince Meri down the road to become AUB and what she would have said, or if she would have held that against him because that wasn't the deal when they first got married. I wonder. Me thinks out loud. Oh. Ethel, you were raised in a cult-like religion? Oh, not a good one. He had a few years of dragging your family into a cult-like religion. You would disappear for the time of services, even though I know it meant, I thought the whipping was in the services when I glanced at it. Oh, so if you missed service, you would get a whipping. My mom was born and raised in a cult too. There's a lot of people who have this as their background. I would imagine, thank you, Sam. I would imagine that for sure this show would attract people who come from a background of being in any kind of a cult. Did anybody watch, what was it called? It was the Amish show. It wasn't Becoming Amish. It was Breaking Amish or something like that. Because the very first episode was a bunch of teens during Rumspringa leaving and going to New York together and spending time to decide if they're going to choose their faith or not in the end. Can't remember that show. Anyway, in that show, the one kid who was Amish, who then left Amish and then came back and then left and then came back and forth. He's out of it last I saw. I don't know, there's been a few seasons of it. Breaking Amish, Lynn Skinner, yes. Breaking Amish. I watched all of those. Now, I'm from Ohio. The Amish are all over here. So it's very interesting to me. I do scrapbooking retreats in the Amish country for my customers. And so I spent a lot of time down there and learned a lot from some of the one guy, Jonas, who worked at one of the inns that we stayed at. He was a helper there, and he was very forthright in terms of sharing everything about his Amish faith and explaining the difference between Mennonite and Amish. Anyway, that being said, so I'm fascinated by Amish. And so I always make the mistake, and I did it just on this last video when I made some sort of comment in the video and somebody said, no, it's not that way. Or maybe it was going all the way back to when I said, because sometimes I'll go back at an old video and see if there's comments that I missed. Also, because I just want to make sure that there's nothing really nasty written in some of them so I can take it out. But somebody said, oh yeah, the Amish, they do dance. Not the Amish, the Mormons, they do dance. And I remember writing to them recently saying, you know, I think because I was raised with Amish around, that I sometimes superimpose some of their beliefs on the Mormons, specifically the like FLDS Mormons, because it's so similar in terms of their attire, their dress, their clothing, their hair. Every single thing has a significance, and it all has to be exactly so. So that's why I was thinking the Mormons didn't dance. But you know what? I bet FLDS don't dance. If you know, let me know. I have a few people who follow my channel who are Mormon, so they let me know when I have things incorrect, which I truly appreciate. All right. Oh, good point, Stacy. This is a really good point. They have Rumspringa. So you don't consider them a cult. I respect their lifestyle. Yeah. The kids are given that year to leave and make their own decision. To go live English, they call it. And wear regular clothes and get a job and be amongst the world, go travel, whatever they want to do. They have that year to, is it 1 year or 2 years? I think it's 1 year. To go when they're like around 18 years old and make their own decision. And then they choose whether they come back or not. But the kind of cultish side of it is that if you don't come back, you get shunned. So you do get to choose to leave, but if you choose to leave, you can't come back. Now, you know, there's different levels of it, and there's 10 levels of Amish and 10 levels of Mennonite. And so, well, I know there's definitely 10 levels of Amish. I think there's 10 levels of Mennonite too. And each one has a different level of strictness involved with it. So in some of them it might be different, but specifically referring to the show, whatever level they are, when the boy came back who had chosen to leave the Amish faith, when he came, they had a little table on the other side of the kitchen. It was like a little kid's table too, you know, like there's the kid's table. So he sat down at that table, and that's where he ate. He couldn't sit at the dinner table and eat with the family, which is so sad and hurtful. So that I don't agree with. So that becomes cultish to me. But they do get to choose to go. It's not, yeah. The Duggars didn't dance. That's right, Purple. Yeah, Lori, it's 1 year. So Rumspringa is 1 year. Yeah, okay. And the bishops have a lot of control there. They do, don't they? Yeah, the bishops are, yeah. And they can't go back. But yet, Sam, sometimes they do go back. Like on these shows, you've seen them leave, but then they do go back. I think they have to go through meeting with the bishop and talking to him and getting forgiven and make a recommitment to the Amish faith. So if they choose to leave and they're gone for a few years and then they're like, I really messed up, they can come back. But the sad part about it too is while they're shunned, the family is shunned as well from the church. A lot of times they can't, the community doesn't associate with them anymore because they weren't good enough parents that their kids would leave for a year and they wouldn't choose to come back. Pretty sad, huh? Yeah. I mean, I'm sure people would look at the ways we're all raised and pick things out too, but that's bad. I'm sorry. I can't look at it in any other way. I don't care what my kids would do. I mean, you can murder somebody and you're still welcome back here at home. I'm not going to condone anything you did. And you're going to have to go to jail and suffer the consequences for your actions. But I will always love you. I will always love you. And you will always be welcome back here at home. All right. Let me just glance over this. We are basically winding up today. Anyone else watch the YouTuber Alyssa, the former Mormon? I just found her videos today. She shares a lot of insights. I think I just found her today too. I found somebody who's a former, it was, I want to say she was commenting on Seeking Sister Wives, actually. I can't remember now. Sometimes I just click on random videos that pop up in the side because I like noise to fall asleep to, but I don't want to put my glasses back on, and so I can't really read what anything is. So I'll just, it's like it's recommended for me, so okay, I'll click one, and if it's horrible, I'll just click another one, but usually I'll just listen to whatever it is. Sometimes I end up going down a rabbit hole of things I didn't expect. I went down a whole rabbit hole the other day of, have you guys ever heard of Dr. Hyman? He's a physician. If you're familiar at all with the Daniel diet, he did that with the Saddleback preacher guy, came up with that diet. Anyway, he's very much into, I don't know if holistic is the right word. I always use the wrong word. I said the wrong word to my son, and he's like, yeah, I don't know about that. But then my husband's like, did you mean to say? And I think holistic is the right one. Anyway, his whole philosophy is that our Western medicine is messed up, basically, and we don't teach or educate at all about how foods can simply heal and rejuvenate our bodies and prevent a lot of things from happening if we just eat properly. I mean, and it's an obvious thing to say, but he words it in a different way, and they give very specific information that his videos are really great. And they're not that long. I like them a lot. So if you're looking for something to just kind of educate yourself a little bit about, how important it is to weightlift as opposed to do cardio. And, I'm over 50 now, so I follow everything. I started down a rabbit hole of his whole stuff. I don't at all watch Without a Crystal Ball, but one of the times it clicked on that, and then it just kept giving me videos. But actually, I didn't click. They were none of hers. They were all, there's a lot of channels out there that don't like her. There's a lot of people who are taking her stuff. So I was hearing her stuff, but it was because it was in clips, and then people were reacting to it. So I got a little bit of an education on that one evening. So I was just clicking random things, and I'm like, how many people are out there putting these videos out? My goodness. All right. On the temple wedding. Oh, is she the one with the blonde hair? I have seen her stuff before. Where did I see her stuff? Where did I see her stuff? I watched something else she had. I actually came upon somebody else today. Sorry, I can't give you the name. If I think of it, I'll bring it next week. All right. It's fun to just sit here and chit chat with you all. I'm sure you want to go to bed. All right. Love you all. Thank you for being here. You're fantastic. There's still over 200 people in the chat. God bless you. Mwah, mwah. Love you all. Love you. All right. Tracy, your child bestie, and you are working on a podcast on your cult. Oh, well, you have to share with us the channel after you get it up and going, okay? Because that sounds like it would be good. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, that's true, Kathy. Nobody can go after our James. No, that's not right. No way. It is a great chat group. Yes. All right. I will see you all again on, you're welcome, Linda. I will see you all again on Sunday night. Beforehand, I should get a thumbnail from James, so it'll be on my channel, but it's also on his. We'll be streaming it simultaneously. And we're going to be discussing Chapter 3, Christine again. So it should be good. All right. Goodbye. Let me write in the chat here. Love you all. How come it's not typing? Oh, there we go. Goodbye, sister friends, or sister fearns, as I first wrote. I got to give you a heart too, because I really look forward to these Thursday nights. They're a lot of fun for me. They really are. All right. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.